What's going on, watch enthusiast family? Today we're looking at the SKX mods on their casing. We've completed a mod before on the top left, and I've been impressed with their cases. They make very quality cases for the AE Casio Royale, whether it's the 12, 13, or 1600. So I actually got a gold case for this one, and I already have one from Skimmy on there, but not nearly as nice as this SKX mod is going to be. So I'm switching it up, and I wanted to have a little bit more plop and flair to it. So I'm opening this up now. This is the way it came packaged. And the nice thing is they give you all the tools necessary for you guys to complete this mod, including all the things. You see some spaces there in case you get the bracelet and you get more things from them. I actually had those filled with my last mod that you see on the top left. But here are the screwdrivers for the case back, for the bracelet, for the old case that you're going to be opening up. So I thought that was really nice. These screwdrivers are definitely nice quality. And then you also get a tweezer as well to come with it. So you're going to have everything you need to do the mod. And I'm going to unpackage these pieces that I have here for just the casing. You have some pins there, we have some gaskets, we have some screws. Now the screws, you need to use the ones that they gave you for their case, and you also are recommended to change out the gasket. That's why they included it. And what's nice is that they give you two of it, and they give you four pins for the lugs, so they give you extra stuff there, also extra screws. So I thought that was really nice. And here's the mod that we're going to be swapping out. I did a blacked out look, and then I did a little bit of color for a positive display, and the rest is negative. So I really do love the way the mod came out. I just needed, or wanted rather, a nicer case. And here we go, guys. Here is the shiny gold that we have that we're going to put on there. The buttons are covered nicely with plastic. The case front, it also has a plastic for the crystal as well. And you have a choice between getting the words on the front of it or not getting it. I chose to get it because it is in fact a Royale, and I wanted it to have that look to it. And I like that it's just like uh, an embossed logo, right? It's not really like colored lettering on there. So I thought that was really nice. Wristwatch check. I'm wearing my do-it-yourself bronze watch with the Vario strap. I'm in love with the setup of this watch complete. So that's why you saw the thumbs up. But let's start unpackaging some more pieces here. And in here we have the case back. Now, it's all titanium that you can choose for the case back, and you can choose to have this just with no engraving, but I chose to have the engraving on there. I think they did a very bang up job, and they plated it with the gold to match the casing, so that's very, very nice. And we're gonna do some unscrewing here. And again, when I like to unscrew it, I unscrew some of it halfway. One of them I did a little bit too much there, but let's take that off. And we're using the tweezers that they included to take these off. So let's go ahead and remove those screws to get into the case back here and get to the module. So very easy, guys. This is a very easy mod. This is going to be a quick video. It's nothing too crazy as far as that goes. Everything else I've completed for it. So the old gasket's coming out. And again, this is a Skimmy case with a Casio case back. I kind of did a Frankenstein because that's just how I felt at the moment. So I'm gonna lift the module up here nice and gently with one of the screwdrivers. And I'm only using tools primarily that they provided just to show you guys. You have everything you need when you order from them, which is really nice. Again, I really like the packaging that they had. Everything was snug as a rug, or snug as a bug, I should say, in a rug. We have this little cushion here just to drop the faceplate. And when I do my mods, I mainly mod. Oh, I'm showing you the crack on the case there, by the way. I'm not sure if that happened after the fact. I know that it is a little bit of a push through when you're using a Skimmy case, and I'm not sure if that caused the crack or not, but that also pushed me to change it out. So here I'm using a negative film and a positive, just a color film. So polarized negative with a positive polarized with a colored on top of it, just to create the effect that I had on the watch. And I do that behind the faceplate. This way, if I want to in the future, you could just swap out faceplates whenever you want. So if you mod up a couple of faceplates, you buy them individually, which you could also purchase from SKX Mods. You could kind of just play with it at that point. You could do it positive, negative, colored, polarized, and everything else. So let's clean the case on the inside, get all the dust out. That's the primary focus for doing just a case swap out, right? You just don't want to see any lint or dust or dirt or whatever the case may be. And I'm just taking a peek because there are some lint on the plastic on the front, but I see it's superficial. It's gonna all come off when I take off that plastic, so I end up putting it back. But inspecting the parts before I recase it, you know, cleaning off that dust very vigilantly. And I'm gonna drop the faceplate in here now just to like make sure it's, you know, nice and secure in there. And as you guys can see, I'm spending some time cleaning out, you know, the faceplate and the case, because again, that's the most important thing when we're just doing a quick swap. You know, much like if you were to change the hands out on a mechanical watch, you know, you're just removing the hands, cleaning the dust, reapplying the hands, clean the dust again. You know, be vigilant when it comes to that, because when you recase it, it could be a hassle if you screw things down and then you have to take it back apart. So I spend some time doing that. And now I'm ready to have the faceplate receive into the case. Going to push the edging here, right? Because that's more important than anything else. You don't want to push down on the polarized film and scratch it or bend it and then have to redo it. So just on the edging here, you'll see me pushing it down just to make sure it's extra secure. And if it drops in pretty well. I mean, SKX Mod does a very good job of making everything flush, you know, which would be the difference between you using a skimmy casing, you know, to get the color you want. You know, it's going to be a little bit more of a hassle to get the pieces in there because they're not made for that. You know, you're doing a Frankenstein. So that's a big plus from SKX Mod. They make everything transferable. You know, obviously they're doing it intentionally for that. So we're dropping the module in, and I'm very gentle when I first drop it in because you have to push these little metal tabs in to get it to fit into place. That interacts with the module itself from the buttons on the exterior. So make sure that you take your time when you do this. Don't just push it in as hard as you can, because you can bend those. They're pretty thin pieces of metal. And I'm not wearing any gloves. I just didn't want to this time, and you probably should. You know, you don't want the oils from your hands or anything else to interact with the module. So that's something to note. I just kind of like was like, whatever. If the module really gets messed up from that, I'll buy a new one, you know, type of deal. But definitely wear some finger cuts or wear some gloves. Do as I say, not as I do. It's pretty much cased in there. And now what I want to do is I'm removing that plastic because I want to check now for dust, lint, see if anything got sandwiched in between, because if I got to remove the module now, at least I'm not unscrewing, and it looks really good. So it looks clear. I'm happy with that. So I'm ready to receive the case back to the module into the case at this point. So let me just orientate things here, and then we'll get to doing that. Now, the gasket, of course, has to be put on before putting the case back just to keep it more water sealed and keep it free from lint, which means we have to grab our greaser, right? It's always nice to keep that nice and greased up, because it's going to be more effective as far as keeping out all the things you want to keep out from the watch, but also the longevity of the gasket in general. You know, the more lubricant that it has on it, the more it's going to last over time from drying out or just, you know, temperature changes and that stuff. It's going to be more resilient, but you know, you'll end up having to change that over time. And SKX Mod, like I said before, did provide an extra one, so that's a big plus. Now, I'm using the tweezers here to put the screws that they provided in there, and again, they provided extra screws, so that's a really big plus. I mean, attention to detail. But one thing that I noticed, it was difficult to pick up these screws with that because it just has a lot of resistance bending inwards. So I switch out to my tweezers here. That makes it a little bit easier. That's pretty much the only critique that I'll give SKX Mods. Their screwdrivers are great. You're definitely going to get by with them. I had no issues. I've actually reused their screwdrivers from prior mods and prior things. So I keep those and I reuse them. But the tweezers, if SKX is listening, try to make them a little bit less, how do you say, firm, I guess, because they're just really tight. So, you know, they're squeezing the object before you actually want to. And that was the only issue. So case back's on there. Screws are nice and secure, and as you guys can see, man, it looks phenomenal. Now, the only thing left is to remove these blue plastics that they use to cover from scratches and transport. Now, I'm using metal tweezers. Do not use metal tweezers. You will scratch them, and I do realize this, as you can see. So I'm just using my nail at this point, so I guess it came in handy not covering my hands at this point. You may want to take off your finger cuts or whatever and just use your fingernail because your fingernail is not going to scratch the metal. But they're on there pretty tight. You know, those tweezers that I was using was very fine. But again, there are metal tweezers. So putting on a Vario strap on here because I love the red and gold kind of mixture. And I actually ordered another strap from SKX MOD coming in soon. It's going to be green with gold, gold buckles and everything else to match it a little bit better. But I love the Vario match. I love the deep red that they provide. It's a great quality strap, and I think it came out phenomenal. Now that little window that you see with the color is actually supposed to represent like a holographic theme. You know, be in touch with your child side. You know, I remember back in the day having Pokemon cards and the holographics were the thing, so it reminds me of that and puts a smile on my face. And most people obviously are not going to know that, so let's put it on wrist and see what it looks like. And of course, I think it looks absolutely phenomenal. You have the shiny gold with the blacked out kind of like negative display, and I think that gives a lot of contrast, and it looks great. So there it is on wrist, guys. And finally, I'm at the point where I got the watch where I want it to be. There's the backlight in a little bit of a dim light. So here it is, guys. Here are the screws. Screwdrivers rather, that I said that I was very happy with. This is a little tight. You know, if they made it like a little bit more loose and not so tight, it'd probably be better. Extra lug pins, like I said before, don't need to use them because my Vario has a quick release strap already embedded in it. Extra gasket, extra screws in case you blow one off the desk and you don't feel like running around with a magnetizer, or a magnet rather, and then having to demagnetize it. But let's see what it looks like on a silicone strap. And I do that, install it really quick. Let's put that on wrist just to see what that actually comes out to be. And I think that looks absolutely phenomenal as well. I mean, it really pulls from that negative display and it dulls it down, it being a very shiny gold case. So very happy with this mod, guys. I hope you like the content that I'm doing here on the mods. You know, this one today, like I said, is going to be a very simple modding session. I'm going to go ahead and swap it back because I want to keep the Vario strap on there to wrist it. I just wanted to see. This strap is actually for the mod that you see on the top left when I want to swap out that bracelet. But let's put the Vario strap on here. Again, very, very easy with that, you know, quick release spring on there. No tools needed. Just use your fingers. You could use a little bit of a tool because that knob is a little smaller. So if you have bigger fingers, sometimes it's hard to press it down, but I get it done. And 1, 2, 3, we got the Vario strap back on there with the red and gold. And this is how I'm going to wear it. So very happy with this mod, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. SKX MOD makes a fantastic case. It interacts. The buttons feel phenomenal. There's a lot more heft to it. It just feels more expensive than what it really is, guys. And as far as having that square-shaped watch digital type of flow, you know, it's very flush compared to other styles, and I really think that it pulls it all together. And I was looking for a gold Casio. There was a reason why I went this route, because the gold Casios, the classic ones, are just too small for my 7 1/4 or 7 and about, yeah, 7 1/4 inch wrist. You know, it's just, I wasn't happy with the original one, so I decided to mod mine and make it my own. And with the negative display, I think it really pulled everything together and it made it look absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to show you guys my other completed mod. I did a video on it in the past. It's actually supposed to resemble Predator's wristwatch computer from the original movie Predator. Take a look at that video if you guys haven't seen it yet. I'll put it up on the top here so you guys can click. But I hope you guys enjoyed this simple mod video. And remember, guys, it all started with a watch. No matter where you are currently or where you started off on, you know, any watches that you decided to collect is more than accepted on this channel and in this community. We all started from somewhere. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.